Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Namaste. Hi. Today I'm going to be speaking about what is a control mind. A control mind is that which saves us and protects us from temptations and cravings that are harmful for us. This is the definition of what is a control mind. The control mind concept comes from the 5 kinds of minds that I had spoken of in my talk on what is meditation. And these 5 kinds of minds are required for meditation that is directed towards mental well-being. In understanding the word controlled, we may feel that the idea of control in terms of our temptations and cravings is to grip it, is to hold it. But that is not what exactly it means. So today, let us try to understand what do we mean when we say what is a controlled mind. So now let us try to understand what the word control means. The context with which I am speaking is to do with mental well-being. However, we should understand that the word control, mind control, has a lot to do even with the spiritual culture. In spirituality, mind control is a very important aspect of our practice. And it is spoken of a lot, it is studied a lot, it is discussed a lot. So to understand control mind from the mental well-being perspective, I would have to elaborate a bit about what does it mean from the spiritual standpoint, so that once you have understood the concept rightly, we would know how to use that idea of control from the spiritual standpoint to the mental well-being standpoint. What we mean is that we let the mind be. What do we mean when we say we let the mind be? We don't let the mind just run by itself. We culture the mind, we culture the body in such a way that it becomes our friend, that it stays peaceful and the body stays controlled and the mind stays peaceful. When only these 2 conditions are met, can we actually succeed in a meditation that will take us to our being, where we will be able to abide in ourselves and understand very clearly that we are not the body and not the mind. This is the goal of the spiritual culture. So basically, controlling the mind is to culture the mind. We have a lot of cravings in us. We have physical cravings, we have emotional cravings, and we have egoic cravings. Whenever these kinds of disturbances make their presence felt in us, it draws us out, as it were. And whenever it draws us out, we identify with them and we believe we are the cravings that the body seeks. We are the emotions that the mind projects. We are the ego that the mind tries to fulfill in terms of I am so and so, I am intelligent, I am smarter. All these things are the egoic cravings. When we culture them in such a way that they remain peaceful, we attain to a state of what is called meditation for spiritual enlightenment. However, I would like to state that we would think that, when I don't have physical cravings, when I don't have active, passionate life, and when I don't have any sense of egoic fulfillment, what is life? Now, if we are in a state where we question something like that, we have to know that that question comes because we are not able to conceive of our existence without these things. But we do understand that when we do have all these things, there are a lot of disturbances in us. There are a lot of suffering. There might be excitement, but there is a lot of suffering as well in us. So we take our mind to culture it in such a way that we have a healthy craving, we have healthy temptations, we have healthy emotions, and we have a healthy ego. When we have these things in a healthy nature, we can then culture it to be peaceful and very, very friendly towards us, and then we may conceive of what it is to exist without that, and even existing without them, we will be full and complete, peaceful and joyous. Spiritual people do know what it is to exist without the body and mind, but we can't conceive of that, and that is precisely why mental well-being meditation is very important to take us through a a process of converting that which is negative and that which is unhealthy to that which is healthy and that which is positive. And then we may think about or even conceive or even approach the spiritual enlightenment. We do hear a lot of lectures about the spiritual nature. We do hear a lot of ideas about the spiritual being in us, but when we go to practice, we all know how short we feel of that, how it isn't even a reality. It's good as a concept, but it isn't as a reality as such. That is because if you ask somebody why is it so, they'll say that the mind is not controlled. When we say the mind is not controlled, do we mean we grip it? No, we don't grip it. We culture it in a way that it becomes our friend, and then it abiding in that friendship and peace with our mind, the mind will reveal to us that there is a possibility of a higher evolution, a higher transcendence where we can exist as pure being, as pure spirit. So this is what we mean by the idea of control, to culture. Now let us take that idea and apply it here. As I've defined it, a controlled mind is that which helps us and saves us from temptations and cravings that are harmful for us. Now, this temptation and this craving, let me explain what it means. Temptation is that which exists as objects outside that lure us outside, that draw our being to go and experience them because they are advertised or they are believed by the mind to be something that the mind will enjoy. And cravings are a result of that enjoyment. As we enjoy those objects, as we find joy in them, they remain as an impression in us to repeat themselves. This is craving. So we have two things to battle. One is temptation, and the other is temptation, which is physical in nature. And then there is craving, which is within. Now these have to do with objects, but there are to do with ideas as well in terms of emotions. Sometimes, I have that temptation that I would have to prove myself that he is wrong and I'm right. And then there is that craving within me that, I'll have to project myself as I am this because I feel inferior. These are all different aspects which I'm not going to deal with in a controlled mind. These all will be taken, these ideas will be discussed in what is a loving mind, what is a peaceful mind. Here I would be specifically speaking about physical objects that lure us outside and that develop within us in terms of cravings that make us want to repeat it. We have no problems with what happens when we are in the waking state, okay? And the problem comes when we are meditating. Now, before we discuss about what temptations we have, what cravings we have, we should first be very, very sensible in categorizing them into two. One that is not harmful for me, in fact, that is something that I need, and the other that is harmful for me. There is no point trying to draw out that which is not harmful for us, because we would be simply prolonging the struggle and making it more difficult for us. If I have to tell it, I have to put it this way. If there are cravings, temptations outside which are not really harmful, like eating something, like enjoying something in a controlled manner, if there are cravings within me that I would have to fulfill for my body, I understand them and I know that they're not harmful in any nature, then there is absolutely no point in battling them head on. They will be overcome only when we experience them mindfully and then understand and peacefully coexist with them. But we are specifically talking about things that are harmful for us. Let us bring these things in our meditation, these two kinds of things, that which are not harmful and that which are harmful. Let us bring them in our meditation. Suppose if I'm sitting for meditation and I try to concentrate my mind into my being and try to abide peacefully in it. I experience cravings, I experience temptations. Temptations come in the form of objects in my mind which I would want to go and grab, and cravings come in the form of energy that pushes me to go ahead and fulfill it. Now, if we can categorize them into two in our minds and say that which is harmful for me and that which is not harmful for me, Let us take the first one, that which is not harmful. There, when we have understood that, in our meditation, we should be able to tell our mind that if it is an object outside which tempts me but which is not harmful, I say, let it be. I will tell my mind that I am peaceful and I will continue to sit in meditation because that object is there outside. I do not have to rush and go get it. I have registered in my head that I will pursue that temptation because it's not harmful for me and it is outside and I will get it. Now I'm dedicating my time to abide in my being, which is the most important engagement for me right now. This is how we'd have to tell ourselves, including cravings. If there is a craving within, if we tell our mind that yes, there is a craving, this craving is not harmful for me, it is there, it can wait for the next 10 minutes and that or 20 minutes and I am going to give it. There is no problem in it. I am going to give it, but now is the time I need to abide in my being. These temptations and these cravings, which are not harmful in nature, will not trouble us if we tell them that they are going to be given. But if we even resist that, which is not harmful for us, we're going to be fighting a battle because there are cravings and temptations within us which are harmful for us and they're going to be equally stronger and we are not going to be able to balance both. So this is how we deal with things that are not harmful for us, that are okay. We know how to regulate ourselves within it. We know how to function. We know how to be peaceful in this world. We know how to behave ourselves. We know how to feel happy in spite of having these temptations within us. This is what temptations are, which are not harmful by nature. They allow us to function. They allow us to interact. They allow us to abide. They don't make us emotionally vulnerable. These are that. Temptations that are harmful are that which could cause us a lot of strain, which emotionally, physically, it could cause us a lot of excitement but drain us out, and we know that it will drain us out, and it will even drain us emotionally out of our being, and we know that we're not going to be happy with certain things. We know the addictions that are there, and those are the kinds of temptations that could disturb us. These are the harmful kind of temptations which we will have to make absolute peace with. How do we do it? Basically, temptations that exist outside in the form of objects and cravings to fulfill those objects that are harmful for us are harmful for our body. Now, whatever it is, I leave it to each one of us. We should understand that some temptations that are there for others may not be harmful for me, and some temptations that are harmful for me could be harmless to some. So we should understand that people have different ways of dealing with their temptations, and each one of us know which temptations, which cravings causes a lot of mental turmoil, causes a lot of physical exhaustion, and causes a kind of an emotional instability and unhappiness. We know that for ourselves. We should first be very aware that temptations cannot be gotten rid of in one go. We have to give them ample time. But the focus of the main point is here. When we deal with temptations, we should not deal with those that are harmful, I'm specifically talking about. We should not deal with the objects of temptations and the objects of cravings. We know that they're harmful. We know what they do to us. The whole meditation that should take place for a controlled mind, for mental well-being, is the meditation should go on the body. See, there is an object outside. The object affects the body. I should not focus on the object and think of all its negativities and then think of all its positivities. Today I might think of all the bad sides of it. Tomorrow my mind will show me all the good sides and say, why not? but I know how it affects me. I know how it affects my being. Therefore, the meditation, again, like I said, the focus should not be outside. There's no way you can attack the object outside. Tomorrow, even if that's eliminated, a new form can be taken which can lure us. What should be taken is the impact on my body, the impact on my mind. So in that kind of a meditation of a controlled mind, I should always tell myself that I am this body, I am this mind, and I am going to be subject to those harmful experiences in my body and mind. I should talk to myself. I should see this as the object of my interest and object of my care. If there are objects that are going to harm me, for example, my body parts, I should understand that the objects may be there, may not be there, but I am going to exist with my lungs, I'm going to exist with my stomach, I'm going to exist with my breathing, I'm going to exist with my skin, I'm going to exist with all these body parts. And if I don't take care of it, if I don't love it, if I don't give the right kind of nourishment and the right kind of care for it, I will be doing great injustice to me. This is how the focus is supposed to be taken away from the object that's going to cause us harm to the result or the effect that is going to be under fire. We should focus that kind of a suffering here, and we should talk to this body. We should tell every part of our body that I wish to not harm it. I wish to not make it suffer. I wish to not allow my mind to suffer. And I should soothe my body and mind and be very, very connected with it. In fact, one of the basic tenets of Hindu spiritual culture is to give a great deal of respect and care for the body. What we mean is, we understand that this body is the only medium we have for our existence. Forget spiritual enlightenment, but for our existence. So in that meditation, we breathe in and we feel the impact of it. We get extremely intimate with it. I cannot even use words to explain that kind of concept right now, except through a guided meditation. But we all know for ourselves that starts off with deep breathing from the body to the toe, from the head to the toe. We keep talking to ourselves, we keep abiding in ourselves, and we tell that this is not good for you, O body. This is not good for you, O mind. O mind, I wish to be connected with you. O body, I wish to be in connection, in harmony with you. This kind of a suggestion should always be generating. Let the objects be. Talk to the body, talk to the mind, build a link and stay connected and close to it. This is the only way in which one can actually, there are many ways, there are stronger methods, but the most peaceful way is this kind of meditation, this kind of an auto-suggestion where the focus is put on the body and mind. This is how we build a deep sense of bonding with it. And this kind of a deep sense of bonding with the body and mind has its benefits that cannot be even enumerated. We know how it will reflect in all positivity and all glory in everything that we do. There are many kinds of meditation that deal with body awareness, but more than that, like I said, we should be talking to it. This is how we deal with temptations and cravings that are harmful to us. Again, I stress that yes, we understand how problematic the object is going to be for us, but we should be talking to our body mind more. We should be focusing more. Usually the focus is on that. It shouldn't be. So this is how we deal with it. I'll quickly take you through again. What is a control mind? A control mind is that which saves and protects us from temptations and cravings that are harmful for us. In understanding what is a control mind, we speak from the spiritual standpoint. From the spiritual standpoint, we don't control the mind, but we let the mind be in a peaceful and a friendly manner in which we coexist, such that it does not draw us out, such that it does not pull us out. We use the same kind of thing even in mental well-being, that truly speaking of controlling the mind, we do not grip it. We try to understand our mind, and we try to understand what is temptation, what is craving. Temptation is that which exists as objects outside. Craving is that which creates an impression after we have enjoyed it, and it repeats itself. So we don't really control it, we understand it, and as we understand temptations and cravings in us, we divide them into two. That is, one which is not harmful and the other which is harmful. Those which are not harmful are the ones in which we can exist as proper, good, meaningful human beings in our interactions within ourselves, within our interpersonal relationships, and within our own being. We are peaceful with that. It doesn't cause us problems. And the other one is that which is harmful, but that which is harmful affects our body. So our meditation should be drawn to talking to our body rather than the object of temptation, and that craving directed towards that object. We should not focus our hate on the object, because today, even if it focuses on hate, tomorrow it will show us all the good sides of it and all the happy sides of it as well. That's why there's no point attacking that, though we should be aware of it. The whole focus should be a very peaceful and a loving meditation within our own selves, and we should talk to our body mind and build a deep connect with it. It's a very short description of what is a very powerful kind of meditation, that is a controlled mind meditation. If you have any doubts or any sorts of clarification that you need regarding this subject, please write to me in the comments or anywhere else. And also, my channel is there in YouTube. You can subscribe for it for more videos. These videos are purely intended to help and nothing more. So this much for today. Thank you.